What's up guys, Justin here with the realtimeessentials.com. So in today's video we're going to check out an asset for Unity that changes the look and the feel of the way your games work so that you get more like feedback and other things to make the games feel more immersive. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so you can find feel in the Unity asset store. I will link to it in the notes down below. It looks like it's actually currently on sale, so it might actually be a good time to go check it out. But basically what it is it's a tool in here from the guys that brought us Corgi Engine and Top-Down Engine. I talked about Top-Down Engine. It's basically the top-down game creating engine for Unity. But this one is interesting because what it does is it adds feedback to your Unity games. So what it does is it does things like screen shakes and other things like that. So for example, if you look at this, notice how when your character jumps, see how there's a screen shake associated with it? So it's all of those little feedbacks and effects inside of your game that you might not think about, but are going to be important in making your game feel more complete, I guess, maybe more active. But basically what's contained inside of here is there's over 100 feedbacks for things like screen shakes, animated transformations, sounds, particles, all those different things, all contained inside of this add-on. So they do have a complete documentation in here for how to use it, as well as a Discord where you can go to ask questions and get help if you get stuck on anything. And so there's also a link to their GitHub, which has some additional extensions for feel that can make it do more things. So for example, things like letting things play forward and backwards, turning lights on and off, other things like that. So there are community extensions to this as well. So they've actually got a WebGL viewer set up in here as well, so you can see the different things that are contained inside of this. So if you click between the different demos, notice how, for example, this one, watch the screen shake whenever the duck jumps. So they've uploaded all of the demos to a WebGL page so that you can actually see what's contained inside of here as well. So as is kind of typical of anything from More Mountains, they've got plenty of documentations and things in there that are designed to help you learn how to use this particular asset. So now let's go take a look at it inside of Unity. All right, so one other thing to be aware of when you're installing Feel is not only do you need to install Feel using the package manager, you also need to make sure you go into Unity's package manager and make sure that you've enabled post-processing, Cinemachine, and TextMesh Pro. So those are going to show up in the package manager in the Unity registry. So like Cinemachine is in here, you just need to make sure that you have that installed. You also need to make sure that you've enabled post-processing right here. So you should be able to find one of those and install that. So all of those from this page, you need to make sure that these are installed. So Cinemachine, TextMesh Pro, Animation 2D package, as well as if you go inside of the Feel folder, there's a nice vibrations package, which you should double click on and import the package. I've already done that, so that's already showing up in here. But you're going to need to enable all of those in order for everything to work. Note that there are demos for the standard render pipeline, the HDRP, and the URP. I'm just using the standard one for this video. All right, so now let's take a look at some of the demos contained inside of this asset. So a good way to do that is to go into the Feel folder, and there's a Feel Demos folder right here, which you can open up in order to see the individual effects contained inside of this asset. So for example, if I was to open up the Barbarians demo, so I can double click on the scene that's right here, and then if I click play, then this is going to open up that demo. And so those demos are going to show you examples of what the different effects from Feel are going to do. So notice how this one's giving you kind of a camera shake every time this character attacks another character. And so there's a ton of different examples in here of different effects that Feel generates. So another one would be the blob right here. Notice how if you click or press the space key, again, what it's doing is it's giving you that camera shake whenever that movement starts. So you can see the camera kind of getting blurry and jumping around as well when you hit the space key. So there's a ton of different demos in here showing you different things. Like for example, there's a getting started tutorial one right here, which you can play, and that's going to let you kind of like play around with this. Notice how if I hit the space key, this is just a very simple scene showing these objects jumping, and then when I hit the ground, the whole scene is shaking like this. So this is a good place to kind of like play around with those settings. And so one thing I found incredibly helpful is just going through and just replicating what they've done with their hero model inside of this this getting started tutorial. So basically what I was able to do is I was able to add this cube object and apply my own effect to my own cube that I added in here just by recreating what they've done on this side of the page. So I've gone through and I've applied the getting started tutorial hero reference script in here, and then all you have to do is just assign your different feedbacks in here when you do that. So I assign my feedbacks, and then within the feedbacks, all you need to do is just add a MMFeedbacks object to this, and then you can add the different feedbacks just by using the little button right here, right? So I've added a camera zoom and a rotation to this object, but you could add other things as well. So different haptics or particles or other things like that. It's really easy to set up. I recommend just kind of playing around with that. They actually have a really great tutorial, a getting started tutorial in here that kind of shows you how to get started adding these different things. So you can find that on their YouTube channel right here, and yeah, it's just kind of an excellent reference. And then one other thing I want to look at just real quick, because I do want to go down to the MMFeedbacks demo down below and just run that, because that is probably, I'm going to go ahead and click on save. That's probably one of the best ways to see everything that's contained in here. So notice how all of these, you can see all of the different feedbacks that are in here just by clicking on them. So notice how, for example, if I go down to my camera settings, I can see what the different things are going to do. So I can see my camera can adjust using a field of view. If we're using the field of view setting, there's different post-processing things that you can see as well. So an excellent demo is contained in here, just showing you what everything is. So note that down below there's options for like adding different particles that play as well, and again, you just add those as components to your objects inside of Unity. All right, so I will link to this asset in the notes down below. Leave a comment below, let me know what you thought, if you've tried this, if you'd like to see more tutorials with it. I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.